One of the few key behind-the-scenes personnel to have worked on The Prisoner from beginning to end was art director Jack Shampan. Throughout the first season, he had become a driving force behind the unusual style of the series, and it would have been a relief to the production office when he agreed to work on what was planned as a second season. Assisting Jack as set dresser was John Lageu, who recalls how he joined the production.
Well, I, at the time, was working for Gerry Anderson. I think it was on Captain Scarlet. And I fell out with the management team there. And a friend of mine who'd already gone to MGM and had gone to be interviewed by Jack for the Prisoner job and didn't get it. I rang him to tell him that I was no longer with Gerry Anderson. He said, well, why don't you come up to MGM? I said, Jack Shampan's looking for somebody. So I thought, oh, what have I got to lose? So I shot up to MGM and met Jack, who took me by surprise. And he said, right, can you start? I said, when can he start? Can he start tomorrow? Being that I'd seen him on the Friday, and he wanted me to start on the Saturday. Who was I to complain? Start straight away on overtime, on what we used to call in the business double bubble.
John joined the series just as Face Unknown was finishing production and took over directly from Colin Southcott, who had only completed one episode. John remembers his first impressions of working with Jack.
We didn't hit it off straight away, Jack and I. Several times he commented that I ought to leave the business. He didn't think I was the right material. But I've stuck it out for 35 years, so he must have been wrong. But he was a nice old stick, Jack. I mean, I got used to his ways in the end. He could be a bit rough at times and a bit sharp. But if you did fall out with him during the day, he'd always say, come on, I'll buy you a drink in the bar.
But although he could be difficult at times, Jack had an excellent reputation as one of the most economic art directors in the business, revamping sets and doubling them up during the course of a production.
Jack could make sets out of anything. And the first time I went round the scene dock with him, he said, go off to the scene bay office, he said, and get the little tickets. And he said, you write on it, The Prisoner. Then he said, you follow me round, and when I tell you to put a tag on something, that's what you do. And Jack shuffled. And although he shuffled, he was flat-footed. And he shuffled round, but he used to go like a rocket. And he had a job to keep up with him. And it used to be, yeah, John, see that? It might be arches, it might be a staircase, it might be windows. It might be a staircase such as this one, running down here, which is obviously a cellar. It might be some arches, and Jack would then put it all together. Or he's already drawn his sketch as he sees it. And with Jack's memory, he could usually remember exactly how the arches were. And he'd say, there's an old staircase up on the back lot that I want to use. And he'd say, it looks like this. And God forbid if you got the wrong one. And then he'd put an iron staircase in to add a bit to it. And the arches. He was a great one for detail, Jack.